monster.
Are you guys ready for the most insane RNG I have ever been blessed with? Like, you saw my snapshots with the Death Star. I'm sure some of you have seen that. Some of you, if you haven't, go watch my Death Star replays. They're called like something. They're Death Star replays. They're not too long ago. I don't even remember what they're called. They're called something. They're Star Wars related. They should have a picture of Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader on them. So yeah. Anyway, once again, we're going to be using different sounds. This time I've decided to use, because of the hype around it, I've decided to use War Thunder sounds. Just my gun. Sounds pretty cool. But we're using the Sand River soundtrack for World of Tanks because they do not have LME. Now this is probably one of the only good console exclusive maps in my opinion. There's actually things you can do. It encourages aggressive scouting because of the ridge lines, and because of the ridge lines in the back, you also have sniper support. There's places to hide from artillery. There's places to take your light tanks, places to take your heavy tanks, places to take your tank destroyers. Then it's so big and there's so much to do. In my opinion, this is a really good console map. I don't know about you guys, but I approve of it. What do you think of that noise? You like that? I like it too. I approve of this map. There's something to do for everyone. There's firing lanes from all sorts of places. And yeah, I approve of it. So, yeah. Anyway, so, once again, we are using the noises of a different kind of tank game. I guess World of Tanks on PC isn't really a different game, except it kind of is. Like, same developers, but different team of developers. So, it's a different game. Now, what do I mean by RNG in this game? Well, I mean the enemy team's RNG is pretty garbage. I feel bad for them. And my RNG seems to just hit, you know what I'm saying? Oh, especially later in the game. In the early parts of the game, it's just normal shoot and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Now, we've taken our tank to this ridge because this ridge is very protected from them. They have to push over to come and get us, and our tanks in the back can usually shoot them because it's so flat from here to our base. So that is why I've decided to come to this location. I feel this was the right play to make. And now we put a shell into the E5. Quick snapshot, he gave us this side. I feel this is the right flank to take with my medium on this side because you're provided with so much cover. That's just my opinion. I think this is the right place to go. Yeah, so we've got a gorilla behind us. He's going to put a shell into us, unfortunately, there. But we're going to fix it immediately and try to return the favor. We're not going to let him get away with what he did. And we put a shell into him. And now we have an E5. Two E5s advancing. I think they think I'm pretty much dead. But they are not shooting at me. So put a shell in that E5 while I was not paying attention. We have loaded the gold because of the E5s. The gorilla bounces off of us. There's our first stroke of RNG, as you can see there. And it will not be our last. We put the shell into him. Are we going to be able to put another one? We have an ISU coming. And so I have a decision to make. I decided to put another one into him before I pull back. And then it was a little bit too late. There's the ISU. So now there's nothing I can do. So I decided to just put the shell in. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a hit. Whatever. We put the shell in. Now we're on one hit for everything. And the E5 misses us. The next E5 hits our tracks and we absorb it. We put a shell into the ISU 152. We're going to hopefully finish him off here. No, we're not. So as you can see, we've got two more strokes of RNG right there. Put a shell into his... We go for his tracks. We miss, but he take out his engine. Actually, no, we do hit his tracks as well. We track and damage his engine, so if he did have a repair kit, he had to choose. Now we get to put a free shell into the E5 there. We put a shell into him, and now we have a 4005 and the ISU sitting there. The E5 is turned to look at us. We put a shell. We miss. He misses. IS5, E5 bounces off our tracks, and then the ISU hits the gun of the gorilla. All three of these tanks fail to kill us with their one shots. And now we're going to be able to just put a shell into this guy's tracks because he's got a 25-second reload. Put one into his tracks. Now we're going to get to the side and track him again. But our RNG is not over yet. We put a shell into his tracks, and then suddenly, boom, the chieftain bounces off of our rear, hits our tracks, and our tracks absorb it. And we put a shell into the 4005 once again. The amount of damage. Then artillery shoots, but he hits the dead gorilla, so the dead gorilla absorbs all of the damage, and we do not take any damage from artillery, unless that was my own artillery. I wasn't paying attention. Either way, I'm just going to pretend it was the enemy artillery, but I'm not too sure. Now we're finally switching back to AP, and then I noticed an E3, so I switched back to APCR. But now we're gonna be shooting at this chieftain, and this first shot isn't like, oh my gosh, RNG, but it's still pretty good. But then this next shot, you thought my RNG was over. Well, nope, denied, and he's dead. We're gonna keep the APCR loaded. I've found this tank. I've been shooting a lot of APCR, especially with this American op going on, guys. There's so many E5s, and with this tank, the 219 pen I think it gets on its standard just hasn't been cutting it. I've been trying just to use nothing but. I've been trying, like when I first got this tank, I'm like, I'm not gonna be the gold noob. I'm not gonna be the gold noob that everyone else is in this tank. Because you see these tanks, they're always shooting gold. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. And then suddenly it was like, crud, I actually have to do that because I cannot penetrate E5s frontally reliably or anything. And there's my last bit of RNG. Somehow, I put that in super slow motion. Before we fired, the shell was actually past the tip of our gun. So we fired within 2 meters of the shell hitting us, which was pretty insane. And we do manage to penetrate him. 6,300 damage, 2,700 assisted, 1,100 blocked, but that doesn't count the absorbs. And then the 4,005 missed us. The ISU hit the gun of the gorilla. So it was pretty fantastic stuff. And we got our Mark of Excellence. Yay! I think it was 39 games. Maybe we'll 3-mark this before we finish it off, but we will see. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this insane, ludicrous RNG. If you did, please tap that like button, comment, and subscribe. Go check out Space Bandit's YouTube. Go check out GotADingy's YouTube. We are going to be streaming together, all 3 of us, on the 26th, Tuesday. Come join us. I don't know exactly what time it's going to be, but we're going to be streaming all 3 of us together. It's going to be great fun. The first time we've done this since we've kind of partnered up. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Until this, 2. Take care, and peace out.